Gen Z might actually be cooked. Right now, 75% of employers are struggling to fill job vacancies. And this is because Gen Zers are rejecting the high-end desk jobs for the more traditional trade professions, which we can see from the huge plummet of high-level college degrees being pursued by the new generation right now. But why are they doing this? You might think they're making a mistake until you see this Microsoft study I'm about to show you. Microsoft studied 200,000 AI applications to map out which careers are actually AI-proof, and let's just say your desk job might be in more danger than you thought. And I can personally attest to this because I have held 3 different jobs in tech in the past 5 years, and most of those companies I've been at have had to pivot or go under completely since the AI boom. I've also partnered with a lot of the companies that are building the AI technologies that are shaping our future today, so I am going to give you the inside scoop on what all of this means for your career, so let's get into it. So here's what Microsoft did. They analyzed 200,000 anonymized conversations between users and Microsoft Bing Copilot to understand which jobs AI is actually impacting. Not which jobs might be impacted in some theoretical future, but which jobs people are already using AI to do right now. And the results, they should make every white-collar worker pay attention right now. The highest AI applicability scores, meaning the jobs most likely to be affected by AI, were found in knowledge work occupation groups such as computer and mathematical, office and administrative support, and sales roles. Let me say that again. Computer jobs, office jobs, and sales jobs. The exact careers that we have been told are the safe ones, the ones that you went to college for, the ones that you might be working in right now. Here is the specific list of occupations with the highest AI risk according to this study. Interpreters and translators, customer service representatives, sales reps, writers and authors, telemarketers, brokerage clerks, and even, here's the kicker, data scientists and web developers. These aren't low-skilled jobs. These are professional careers that require degrees, certifications, years of experience, and AI is already doing them. The most common work activities people use AI for involve gathering information and writing, which are performed most successfully by AI. If your job involves researching information, writing reports, analyzing data, or communicating with customers, which describes like 80% of corporate jobs out there, you are in the danger zone. Now, on the flip side, occupations with the lowest AI applicability scores include those requiring physically working with people, operating machinery, and manual labor. So nursing assistants, HVAC technicians, electricians, plumbers, roofers, the jobs that require you to actually be there in person with your hands, solving real physical problems. So basically, Gen Z saw the writing on the wall before the rest of us did. And if you are ignoring what they're telling us, then you are about to make a huge mistake. Okay, now let's talk about the economics for a second here because this is where it gets really interesting. According to the Education Data Initiative, the average 4-year college degree costs over $104,000 when you include tuition, room, and board. 4 years of your life, 0 income, 6 figures of costs. How does that make sense? Now, compare that to trade programs. Many apprenticeships actually pay you while you learn. Even if you go to trade school, you are typically spending only $10,000 to $30,000 total, and you are done in under 2 years. Now, here's where it really diverges between these two options. The Bureau of Labor Statistics shows electricians and plumbers are earning median wages over $61,000 a year. That's just the median. Experienced tradespeople commonly earn between $75,000 to $100,000 or more, especially once they go independent. Meanwhile, most college grads outside of engineering and tech, they are starting at $50,000 to $58,000 a year after spending 4 years and $100,000 to get there. The trade worker has been earning money for 4 years by the time the college grad even gets their first paycheck. So do that math. But it's not just about money, because here's my main takeaway from that Microsoft study. AI can't wire a house. It can't fix a burst pipe at 2 a.m. It can't install an HVAC system, right? Because here's what actually makes you valuable in today's world. Physical presence plus technical expertise plus problem solving equals AI resistant work. So the question you need to be asking yourself is, what parts of your white collar job fit that formula? Now, I know what you're thinking. I am already in a corporate career. I'm not going to throw away years of my education and experience to become a plumber. And I'm not suggesting you should, but you need to understand what trade workers have that you might not. 1, tangible, demonstratable skills that clients clients can see and immediately value. 2, direct relationships that aren't abstracted through corporate bureaucracy. When you are a plumber, your reputation is your reputation, not your company's. And then 3, skills that transfer across employers and industries. An electrician can work for a company, they can go independent, move cities, switch to industrial or residential, but their core skill stays valuable through it all. Can you say the same thing about your corporate role? Those 3 traits of tangible skills, direct relationships, and portable expertise are exactly what makes blue-collar work AI resistant. But here is the good news. You can build all 3 of these protections into your white-collar job without quitting your job. So let me show you how. You don't have to quit your job and go to trade school, but you do need to adopt what I am calling the blue-collar mindset within your white-collar career. Remember those 3 traits we just talked about? We are going to build each one into your professional life. And here's what that means. My first tip is to become a specialist, not a generalist. Trades succeed through deep expertise. Nobody hires a person who knows some stuff about electricity, right? They hire a licensed electrician with specific certifications, and you need to have the same level of specialized expertise in your field. So for example, if you are a marketer, don't just be a marketer. Be the B2B SaaS demand gen specialist who's generated 50 million in pipeline for cybersecurity companies. That specificity is what gets you hired. And my second tip, build client relationships, not just deliverables. Plumbers retain customers through trust, reliability, personal reputation. So how much of your corporate work is relationship-based versus task-based? Because tasks can definitely be automated. Relationships can't. Literally this week, I want you to take on one project that forces you into direct client or stakeholder interaction. Volunteer for that presentation. Take that difficult client call. Have that in-person meeting. You want to start building your can't be automated resume. My third tip here is to develop tangible skills that require human judgment. Here's what Microsoft found that is really interesting. In 40% of the AI conversations that they looked at, the tasks that AI performs are completely different from the tasks it assists with. What this means is that AI isn't just replacing you, it is changing what work even means. So you need to position yourself as the expert who directs AI, not the worker that AI replaces. Let me give you specific examples of pivots based on Microsoft's findings in this study. If you are in a high-risk role, so data entry, basic analysis, content writing, you need to pivot now. Move towards strategy, complex problem solving, and client-facing roles. Add skills in change management, executive communication, and negotiation. Now, if you are in a medium risk role, so that's things like marketing, project management, HR, emphasize the interpersonal aspects. You want to develop deep industry specific expertise that AI cannot easily replicate. Position yourself as the human interface between AI tools and business outcomes. And then lastly, if you are in technical roles, so software development, engineering, don't try to compete with AI on code generation alone. Focus on architecture, security, system design, build cross-functional leadership skills. Become that person who knows when and how to use AI. And here's your third action item. Start a skills diversification plan this week. Dedicate 5 hours per week to building one marketable skill outside of your current job description so that within 6 months, you should ideally have a legitimate secondary expertise. This could be project management certifications like PMP or Scrum Master, technical certifications that are relevant to your industry, public speaking through organizations like Toastmasters, starting weekend freelance consulting in your area of expertise. And that last one is what I recommend to most people because you not only get to develop a new skill set from freelancing, but also you get to build out career insurance because freelancing is a great way to diversify your income. Okay, so let's bring it all together into a concrete 90-day plan to AI-proof your career. Month 1 is assessment and positioning. In week 1 of month 1, you want to do a full AI vulnerability audit of your role. List every task you do regularly and honestly ask yourself, could AI do this within 5 years? If more than 50% are at risk, then you need a pivot strategy. Week 2, research 3 to 5 adjacent roles in your company that are more AI resistant than what you currently have. Look for roles that involve strategy, client relationships, or complex human judgment. Week 3, schedule coffee chats with people in those roles. Don't make it weird, just say you are interested in understanding different parts of the business that you guys are at. Week 4, update your LinkedIn LinkedIn. Emphasize client relationships, strategic work, and human-centric skills on your profile. Remove or de-emphasize the task-based stuff that AI can do for you. And if you don't know where to begin with optimizing your LinkedIn, make sure you check out my Mastering LinkedIn course, which I will link in the description below. Month 2 of this 90-day plan involves skill building and networking. You want to start with one certification or course in an AI-resistant skill area. I'm talking about something that takes you 2 to 3 months to finish and will give you a credential at the end. You also want to attend at least 2 industry events focused on strategy or leadership, not just technical execution. Join one professional organization in your industry, not one that's just online, but actual in-person networking. There's so much value to that. And if you really want to go above and beyond, make your insights from this skill building and networking process public. I'm a firm believer that LinkedIn is the best place to do that. I have the career I currently do because 100% thanks to the opportunities that have found me from me being a consistent thought leader on LinkedIn. I have a whole chapter that is dedicated to how to write posts on LinkedIn to position yourself as an expert in any field so that you can attract career opportunities without sounding cringe. That is all in Mastering LinkedIn. Month 3 of this plan is income diversification. Set up a freelance or consulting framework. Get an LLC, build a basic website, create a portfolio, and heck yeah, use AI to do all of this. Pick 3 potential clients for weekend or evening work. Start small because you are building a safety net, not completely replacing your income yet. Or, and this is important, interview for 2 or 3 roles that are strategic pivots within your industry. Even if you don't take them, you need to know your market value and your options out there. All right, here's where we get brutally honest about where you stand. I'm going to give you a simple formula to calculate your AI resistance score, and this number will tell you exactly how much danger you're in. So here's how it works. Take your current annual salary. Let's say that's $80,000 a year. Now think about your typical work week. Break down your activities into 2 buckets. Bucket 1 is AI resistant work. This kind of work requires your physical presence. So things like in-person client meetings, site visits, hands-on troubleshooting. Work that requires complex human judgment. So for example, strategic decisions, reading political dynamics, managing conflict between coworkers, or it is work that requires deep client relationships. So trust-based selling, executive advising, partnership negotiations, to name a couple of examples. And then outline the parts of your work that fall into bucket 2, which is AI vulnerable work. That is things like information gathering and research, writing reports, emails and documentation, data analysis and pattern recognition, scheduling, coordinating, administrative tasks, and also basic customer service communications. Be honest with yourself. What percentage of your work week falls into bucket 1 versus bucket 2? Let's say you are a marketing manager. Maybe 30% of your time is spent in client meetings and strategic planning sessions. That would be bucket 1. But the other 70% is spent analyzing campaign data, writing reports, and coordinating with vendors. So that would be bucket 2. Your AI resistance score would be $80,000 multiplied by that 0.3 or like the 30%, which is equal to $24,000. That means only $24,000 of your $80,000 salary is tied to work that AI can't easily replicate. You are 70% exposed here. Here's the rule. If your AI resistance score is less than 50% of your salary, you need to make changes now. So here's what I hope you've taken away from this video. Gen Z isn't abandoning corporate careers because they're lazy or they don't want to do hard work. They're making a rational economic decision based on the world that they see coming. The Microsoft research that was analyzing 200,000 real AI conversations proves they're right. White-collar work is more vulnerable than ever. Blue-collar work is more secure than we have assumed. But you don't need to quit your job and become a plumber unless you want to. In that case, like, go for it. What you need to do is adopt a blue-collar mindset, specialized expertise, direct client relationships, tangible skills that require human judgment. And you want to start that this week. One coffee chat with someone in a more AI-resistant role than you have, 1 hour on a new certification, one conversation with a potential freelance client. The white-collar workers who thrive in the AI age will be the ones who stopped relying on their degrees and job titles and started building real, irreplaceable expertise. If this video stressed you out, good. That means you are paying attention. So make sure you hit subscribe because I'm going to keep showing you how to build a career that cannot be replaced by a chatbot. Thank you guys for watching. Now go build something meaningful.